Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're building a Lego Triceratops. Little red dude. All I have to note about this is that his horns and his frill on his head are a little bit fragile. But other than that, oh yeah, there we go. Not really it's this front face piece. But other than that, for the most part, pretty good. Let's get on to the build. All right, starting off with the body. Here we start with a two, you want two by 10s, and then you want two of these 1 by 2 bricks with the 1 by 4 on the sides, and you're going to place those a stud from the end, and then you want a 2 by 1 cheese slope, place that on top. Then get a 2 by 3 brick, place that right next to it. 2 by 2 brick with the slant upside down, and a 2 by 2 flat, like, dome piece, I guess. I'm not sure. You'll put those 2 by 2s on top of each other. And then on this end, we'll call this is the front end. You want two of these 1 by 2 ball joint pieces at the front. Then get a 1 by 2, place that right there. Get out a 1 by 1. Another 1 by 2, but in red. Put that at the right after that. Then get two of these 1 by 2 brackets with the brackets pointing upwards. Put those right there. I would suggest a 2 by 4, but get 1 by 4 to 2 by 2s, whatever you can do in tan, and put those ending out that. Next, get a 2 by 4 in red, and then you want 3 of these 1 by 2s with the ball joints, and make sure it's arranged just like this. 2 in the middle, 1 on the side, and you're going to place that on the end, covering up the tan 2 by 4. Then get a 2 by 6 and place another ball joint on the end. Put it in there just right there, right above those ball joints. Next, get another 2 by 6, place it in between all of those ball joints. And then if you have a 2 by 10, I might recommend that. But you could also get, oh my gosh. But you could also get a 2 by 6 and a 2 by 4 in red, and just cover that up, just like that. Next, get out a 2 by 1 in red, place it above the front ball joint, right there. Get some of these 1 by 4s, 1 by 4 brackets, and make sure it's lined up with that 1 by 2 that's hanging off on the end. Then you can just get some filler pieces. I did 1 by 1 studs, place them right even with those brackets. And then get a red 1 by 2 by 6, and then get a dark red 2 by 6. Place those right on top of each other, right on this end of the body. Get out a 2 by 4 right there. And then you're going to 2 by 8 with excuse me, with a 1x6 or with two 1x6s on the top, and then two of these 2x2 slopes on the end. And those will just flatten up the top. For the sides, get out an L in dark red, one of these L pieces, and put one of these 2x2 slope, the slope and the curve on the side. Just even those out on both sides. And then you want that way. I think I had it that way. I don't know. It might show up in the pictures different. I don't remember which way I had it. But you're just going to get two of these, and you're just going to put some of these slope pieces on top, just like that. And I think it was like this. Yeah. It was definitely like that. Anyways, do that on both sides. And there's your Triceratops body. For the tail, start with a 2x3. Put one of these next to night shield pieces on top in dark red. Then you're going to want a 1x2 with a 1x2 half way going outwards, and then get a 2x2. Place that on the bottom, just like that. Make sure this is like a stepping stone almost. Then you're gonna want a 1x2 ball joint connector, and then a 1x2 ball joint on the side. Then get another 2x2 in red. Place that right there. And then for this tan makeup, get a 1x2 or two 1x2s. Place them opposite of each other on one of these weird step pieces with the studs on the sides. And then put a flat tan 1x2, any kind works, on the side, and make sure that the bigger area is angled with the ball joint connector. Then for this, as you can see, 1x1, 1x1. This is an upside down 2x1. And you want that 2x1 ball joint connector and a 3x1 brick with that slope over two studs. Connect that to the end, and then connect this into the body. There's your tail. For the back legs, we're going to start on the feet. Super simple. 1x1 with a 1x2 inverted slope. Or, wait, no. Oh, nope. So this is just a regular 1x2 with that slope, and then that 1x1. And then you want to place it just like this. And then you want a 1x2 bracket with these little 1x1s. Little flat, curved 1x1s on top. And that makes feet for both legs. And then for the leg, start with this 1x2. Get out a, oh, this is a 2x2. Start with a 2x2, then put a 1x2 and a 1x2 ball joint connector on top, right there. Then you're gonna get a 1x2 ball joint, but it's on the side, and then you want two of these 1x1s, and you're gonna place it just in there, like that. Make sure this is leveled off. Then you can get any kind of filler 1x1, preferably in red though. And then take a 2x4, place it on top. Make sure you still got that like a step slope there. And then we're gonna get one of these 2x2 angle pieces. Get out a 1x2 cheese slope, just like that. And then get out one of these 3x3 with the slope, the curve, and then on top of it, you're gonna place it right equal with this. And then you want another one of these slope pieces, 2x1s, right on that corner. And then you want a 1x1 flat, 1x1 flat curve, and a L with the curve and no studs on top. Just like this. And those will go in there, just right there. There's your Triceratops back legs. For the front legs, we'll start at the top of the leg, get a 3x3 with a curve, and then on top of it, get a 1x2, a dark red, right here in the center, and then get a 1x1 curve, just like that. And that makes like a little bit of a stripe pattern. Then you want a 2x3, and you're going to place it, that 2x2 area right under here, make sure that it's sticking out. And then you're going to put a 1x2 here and a 1x2 curve piece right on the corner. So then you have that one exposed stud right on the curve. Then you're going to get a 1x2 with the ball joint on the side, or the end, and then a 1x2 ball joint connector, and you're going to fill that in, leave this empty, take an L bracket, L piece, connect these two together, make it, there's like a step right there. And then for the foot, super simple, just get a 1x2 ball joint connector with two of these 1x1 upward curve pieces. I accidentally dropped mine. There it is. Put that on there. Attach that to the body. And there is his front legs. For the neck of the Triceratops, start with a 1x2 tan, and then put a 2x2 bracket facing up on top of that, and then get a 1x2, I think these are called jumper plates, I found out recently, and then get one of these 1x2 flat angle pieces. And then on the inside, get a 1x2 with the 1x2 ball joint and ball joint connector, and then a 1x2 on top. And you connect just like that. And then on the top, you want another 2x2 bracket, but make sure it's facing down so that it does that. And then you want to copy this side over to this side. And then on the top, it's another one of these jumpers in dark red with a 1x2 slope. And that makes up the base of the head or the neck. Now for the head, we'll do this in segments. For the bottom jaw, get a 1x2 ball joint connector, and then get a 1x1 brick with a stud on the side. Place it on one of these 1x1 bricks with two studs on the side, and then get a 1x1 2 stud tall half bricks or whatever. Then you want a 1x1 with that curve piece, like what we saw on the toes. Place that ball joint connector right there, and then get a 1x2 cheese slope. For the front of the face, start with a 1x2 bracket, put it on that first stud. Then you're gonna get a 1x1 bracket in black. You're gonna get 2 of them, and then put a 1x2 in red, and then another 1x2 half circle. Place that on top, and then get out a 1x2 with a 1x2 jumper, and then you have a 1x1 brick with the indented stud. Place a clip connection and a tooth on there, just like this, and then a 1x1 chisel and tan. Then you're gonna place it on that bracket, and that's the front of the face done. Now for the crest, start off with a 1x1 clip connection, place it on the back right there. I'll only do one side. I'll do this side. For the middle, start with a 1x1 bar connection, get out a 1x2 inverted slope, and then a 1x1 with 2 bar connections. Place this 1x1 bar connection right here, get a 1x1 chi-slope, place it on top facing downwards, and then get out one of these 1x1 with 2 stud connection on top. Get out a 2x1 of these half circles. Ugh, goodness. And then get a 1x1 with that chi-slope on top, and place it exactly the same, and then put it right on top of there. And then you want to place this right there and make sure that's angled with that. Both halves are the exact same, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this half, and then I'm going to show how to build this half. To start, we start with a 1x2 bracket, put a 1x1 pyramid on the side, then get a 1x2 with 1 clip on the side, and angle one of these 1x2 flat half circles just like this. So it's like, it's not 45, it's a little bit bigger than 45, or maybe smaller. Yeah, it's a little bit less than 45, but just like this. Then get out an L, place the corner of the L with the bracket, get another bracket piece, put the pyramid in the same spot and put it on top of the L right there. So there you go. Get out a 1x1 slope, place it right there. A 1x2 with a 1x2 flat on one end, and then angle another of these half circles just like that, and it'll look kind of like this. For the horn, 1x1 cylinder brick with a bar stud. Put that in there. And then you place it just right there. And let's go ahead and, this clip goes into that bar. And then when you're angling it, you want to angle this upwards. And then for the rest of the horn, 1x1 stud, 1x1 cylinder, sloped, whatever shape that is. Cone, it's a cone. And then you want to put in one of these weird horn pieces. And then you place it on there. And then you kind of angle it and kind of just like that. So weird. You can also mess around with the angle if you don't like this specific angle. You can do other angles. But there is your Triceratops.